Have you thought about starting your own windshield repair business, but had a ton of questions racing through your head? Like, is it profitable? Well, what about this? Should I do it this way? Well, what about that? Well, recently, I had the privilege to sit down with a couple of windshield repair technicians from all over the United States, and we did a Q&A, and they answered a ton of questions. So stay connected and keep listening, and you can hear it from those technicians themselves. JD, how did you determine that a tent location was the best business model for you?
Well, you want a good customer base, big sign, big tent, all that kind of stuff leads you to more clients. You're always looking for, another opportunity to make some money. So good signage, good location on a good property is definitely going to be profitable.
Yeah, that's what's up. So can I ask, how long have you been in the windshield repair industry?
Going on 19 years. 19
years, my man. Did you have any experience as a windshield repair technician before starting your own business?
I had zero experience before starting out.
That's cool, man. 0 years to 19 now. So next question is, where do you set up your tents? Like, are you at a mall, car wash, lube shop, or give me some insight on where you set up at?
So typically we set up at car washes because there's a constant flow of traffic there. People are coming in to get a service done already. So they're already ready there to spend money on services to make their car better as far as car wash or detail. So windshield repair, it just flows with a car wash. People are already there to spend money. They're already going to spend, 20 to 45 minutes if you're getting a detail, even longer. So getting a repair done while their car wash is convenient. It's easy. They see your signage. Most of the time it's free through their insurance. Everybody knows that windshields are very expensive now, so it's a no-brainer. You can get their job done in and out in a very quick time. Doesn't affect their day or their time. It's a no-brainer for a customer to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Very easy, it's very convenient.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense there. What is the most important thing to do once you've decided on a tent business model?
So the most important thing to do is getting online immediately, because due to weather conditions, there's going to be days where it's slower, days that you might not have as much flow of traffic coming through. Mm-hmm. So putting up Google page and a Yelp page is extremely important to drive traffic on those slower days. So, your slower days are now busy and your busy days are even busier.
Okay, cool. That makes...
I didn't like relying on just the car wash alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very friendly with my customers, and having a tent location, at a car wash or a tent location wherever you can that has a high flow of traffic, mm-hmm. gives you an extreme ability to get reviews very quickly. Because mm-hmm. most shops just have to wait till the customer calls or come and shop. Well, you're building your own clientele and building your own reviews. So instead of waiting years to get hundreds of reviews, you can get hundreds of reviews in months.
Right. That makes a lot of sense, man. Appreciate the insight on that. Next question is, how large of a population base do you feel is needed in order to have a successful tent location?
Say that one more time.
How large of a population base do you feel is needed to have a successful tent location?
Well, I can't really say on that part because I've done windshield business in 3 states, Arizona, California, mm-hmm. and Las Vegas, in huge metropolitan areas. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be good on advice on that one.
Okay. Well, no, that makes sense. Appreciate that honesty on that part. Do you count the cars that pass by? If so, how do you determine a good number of vehicles that are needed to support your business model?
Yeah, we do. It's always good to have a car count.
Mm-hmm.
You can see how many cars per ratio
right.
Are coming in that you're closing.
Mm-hmm.
A good closing rate should be about 10% of the people that you speak to. They say in sales that 1 out of 10 people will do it. Mm-hmm. My closing ratio is a lot higher than that.
Right.
It's always good to see what kind of, car count is coming through or what kind of flow of traffic. That way you can determine if this is a good location for you, 3 to 6 months, a year down the road. sometimes I found that some locations, they have a really good car count, but the clientele isn't really what you're looking for. And then I've had slower accounts that have had a lower car count, but the closing ratio is a lot higher. So keeping track of your numbers and what kind of money you're making and the traffic flow, it's all important.
Gotcha.
Profit to loss ratio.
Makes perfect sense there. When securing a location or trying to get a location, how do you identify the right person to talk to about renting or leasing?
Well, I'm not biased on that. I am a very firm believer in talking to everyone. Everybody needs to be talked to. They got damage, they need to be talked to.
Gotcha. And when getting a location, say like you said in a location, a tent location up at a car wash or at a tent location anywhere, how do you go about finding the right person to talk to actually rent or lease that location?
Oh, okay. So there's either two types. There's going to be an owner that you can deal with directly, which is kind of rare. And there's going to be a manager or a GM. So you always want to talk to the manager, the GM. Landing locations, it's not a super easy thing. It takes a little work. You have to focus, and you're going to be showing up multiple times. Sometimes, it's hard to catch an owner there. If you can catch an owner, that's great. That's who you want to talk to directly. But sometimes owners aren't involved in their business very much. They just deal with the general manager. So if you can't get a hold of an owner, you want to be real nice to the GM and try to get him to contact the owner for you. But a lot of times, people will say no, new owners come, or they change their mind. So it's not just a one-time deal. You get rejected. You don't give up. You keep going back over and over and over again. They want to see persistence. So you go in one time or two times, that's not enough. You got to keep going back until you get the answer that you're looking for. I mean, sometimes they'll even stop by a year, 2, 3, 4 years later, see if there's a different owner, see if there's a different GM, see if they might have changed their mind by now. Sometimes they get a lot of crack outs and stuff, and they just don't want to deal with it anymore.
Gotcha.
So it's very good to be persistent. Always, of course, you want to talk to an owner first directly. If you can't, start with the GM. When I do go to locations, first I start out, and I'll go around, and I'll watch the flow of traffic coming through. Then I go talk to the cashier. I ask her how many cars are coming through. If you're real friendly with them, they'll give you a whole bunch of information you want to know. Gotcha. Then I'll move on to a manager and the ticket writer, at the locations. I talk to them, and then I'm getting as much information as I can about car counts, what type of clientele are coming through.
And when you've actually figured all that out and get the person to talk to, do you throw an offer out to them, like making a proposal, or how does that process work?
So yeah, I usually always start out with a money figure, and mention car counts and mention previous sites or sites that I'm already in and what they're willing to do, Okay. And if it's got prices in line, I'll willing to negotiate it a little bit, unless it's an extreme crazy price that I'm not willing to do at all. Gotcha.
Okay, cool. So moving on.
That I show the benefit of having windshield repair around. The money saved at the car wash by not having to deal with the crack outs. The Yelp reviews that don't come because of those crack outs. I'll find Yelp and Google reviews on their pages and be like, look what's going on here. You got bad reviews over something that's out of your control.
Gotcha.
So I use every kind of thing I can to help an owner understand the benefit of a windshield repair business at his location.
Right, that's right, man. If you educate someone, they'll sell themselves. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Exactly. Moving on to the next question I got here. Have you put any consideration into the number of competitors in your area, or is that something that you even look at?
So competitors in your area, they're always going to be your competitor. The good thing about Safelite is that they're extremely crazy prices. So it makes, your price seem way better. Competitors in your area, I don't really worry about them too much because I just go out every day and be like, I'm going to do the best job I can for every customer, get good Yelp and Google reviews. And I like to really just destroy my competitors in the area with reviews and, what people have to say about my business.
Gotcha.
So I never really worried about my competitors too much. There's a lot of business to go around.
Yeah, control what you can control, man. And hey, you can't control what they do on their end. So hey, like you said, right, do what's best for you and killing with service and keep killing the reviews. Next question for you. How many locations do you analyze before choosing one? So saying you're 10 up, did you look at one location, 10 locations, or how many do you look at or analyze before choosing this exact location you want to be at?
Well, you always want to do your due diligence, so you need to look at every location you can before making a correct decision, especially if you're only going to choose one.
Gotcha.
If you're only going to choose one location, you have no plans on expanding. You need to make sure that one location is the most profitable. So doing as much research, talking to these managers, talking to these ticket writers, talking to these owners, watching the cars come in is very important to make sure you're going to get the max amount of money. Now, if you're planning on doing multiple locations, or a whole bunch of locations, then just choosing one isn't that big of a deal, because further down the road, you can get rid of a location if you don't really want it anymore.
Gotcha.
But if you're just going for one or two, you need to make sure that you're going to capitalize on every single car that's going to come in.
Gotcha.
If you're planning on doing a whole bunch of locations, you want to grab every one you can.
Yeah, can you give maybe 2 or 3 factors that you consider when choosing choosing the location?
So, when you're choosing a location, I found that super, 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 super high-end cars, tent locations, those people don't have a ton of damage. Their cars are brand new. When their cars are older, they just get rid of it.
Right.
So having a mixture of, middle to high-end cars is good.
Gotcha. Okay.
It all depends on what type of market. If you're trying to hit all high-end, your reviews need to be phenomenal. I like a good mixture of the three, but I've been at some locations where it's just so high-end, these people barely have anything damaged, even let alone a speck on their windshield.
Gotcha.
And if they do get a car, they're just getting rid of it a year or two later,
Gotcha. Makes sense on that end. What is the range of fees you pay per location? Like, are you paying daily, weekly, monthly, or a percentage of your revenue? How does that kind of work out?
So I don't really like owners getting involved in how much money I'm making. So I've always done a flat rent.
Gotcha.
Because what happens is if they see how much money that you're making, they always want to negotiate the rent price.
Gotcha.
So if you do a per job, you basically have to open your books up to this owner.
Right.
And let them know how much you're making. If you do a percentage, same thing. You're basically having some other business literally knowing all your financials.
Gotcha.
So what I do is I always want to do a flat rent.
Flat rent.
Anywhere between $800 all the way up to $4,000.
Gotcha. And when paying that, are you paying that daily, weekly, monthly, or how do you typically work that out?
I always do a monthly rent.
Gotcha.
Sometimes owners, they don't want to let you in because they think you're just going to be a fly-by-night company. So in those situations, what I do with the owner is I offer them up like a 3 to 6 month rent up front if I really want that location.
Gotcha.
And, a lot of the times when they were always like, no, because these companies just come and go, I've gone into locations that have told me no multiple times, but offered them a 3 to 6 month rent up front, and they wanted to do it.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right, and keep moving on. I'm being respectful of your time here, so I'm going to keep it moving pretty quickly here. On average, how many vehicles do you inspect per day?
So the car wash tent locations, it just depends on the car count, anywhere between 110 to 300 cars a day.
Gotcha. What's the average number of repairs that are completed per day?
At my car wash locations, we usually do, when it's me and myself there, between 15 and 30 repairs a day. I've done all the way up to 50 repairs, but that was with multiple assistants and paper writers and all that.
Gotcha.
But the typical average guy is going to be between 5 to 12 repairs a day.
Got you.
If you're a super hard hustler like me that doesn't care about your body at all, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, I got you, man. The sky's the limit. You get what you put into it, man. So if you putting that work in, you can definitely get that payout. But you definitely right on that. I agree with you. It's easy to get some repairs done. It's just a matter of what you set your goals to actually be. So what is the minimum average daily repair count you feel that is needed to be successful at a location? So say location you're at now, you're seeing about 100 cars a day. What's the minimum amount of repairs you need to do to be successful there?
That's all on your how you want to live your life.
Gotcha.
I mean, to be successful is in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah.
$300-400 okay is for one person, whereas for me that's totally unacceptable.
Got you. Okay.
So to be successful, that's really up to you about how successful you want to be.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, everybody's definition of success is different. You know what I mean? So you're right on that. So spot on. So next question is, what's the average price you charge per repair?
My average price in shop is between $60 and $85.
Got you.
A lot of this is covered free through the insurance, though. A lot of my work's insurance work. I always make sure to ask the customer if they have insurance, because two reasons. One, I want them to come back, and people come back for free more often than paying.
Right.
So you get them done for free, they want to come back. No problem. It's a no-brainer for them.
Yeah.
But if they find out that you could have done it for free and you didn't even offer it, they get mad.
Gotcha.
So I always offer that. When I do mobile repairs, mobile repair is between $80 and $140.
Gotcha.
So, the 80 is for a very small, like dime size or smaller one.
Mm-hmm.
But my typical repair mobile is 85, unless it's like a long crack. And anything long crack's 120 to 150 bucks.
Gotcha. What is the percent of insurance versus cash repairs done on you on average, if you could share that number?
So, like I said, also too, that's also going to be on the person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to fix insurance at all. Mm-hmm. People are willing to pay my fee. I always just offer it, but I do, because I do offer insurance. I would say about maybe 60-70% of my work is insurance.
Gotcha.
But what you want to do too is you want to stay off the preferred list, and then you charge people mobile fees.
Gotcha.
So you tell them, like, hey, my cost is $85 or $100 for those two chips. But if you go through your insurance, they pay this amount, and then I'll just charge you a $25 to $40 mobile fee. So you're still getting your $85 to $110 a repair. Now, I wasn't doing that before, and now I just make so much more money with less work by charging those little mobile fees. And no one has any problem paying $20 to $30 because everybody else is quoting way higher than that.
Gotcha. And
no one else is willing to work with the insurance too. They don't want to wait for the money.
Right. Now, how did you determine your cash prices?
So, it's really competitive in my area. I mean, I'm charging those higher prices, but there's a ton of shops doing $30 to $50 rock chips repairs.
Right.
People choose me over my reviews. I've just been slowly going higher because people just keep saying yes. So I keep adjusting my prices higher. And then on top of that, Safelite is so much. So really, I go off basic Safelite charging. They're charging 120 to 140 for one. Two is like 160. Three is like 190. So I try to keep it reasonable for the customer because I am super fast at it. I am super good at it. Safelite shows up, takes an hour to do it. I show up, takes me 10 minutes to do it.
Gotcha.
So I want to keep the customers happy, still keep it competitive. You start charging too much, and their next time they get a chip, they might not be likely to want to do it.
Gotcha.
Maybe just hold off on this one,
Yeah,
I try to keep it competitive. Could I charge more? Probably, yes, and they'd probably pay it.
Gotcha. All right. I know you've been doing this 19 years, and over the years you've had employees, but at this point in time right now, do you have any employees working for you?
Well, I do have a bunch of replacement employees that do all my installs, but they're very easy.
Okay.
Right now, I just have one repair tech. I've had all the way up to 15 at one time doing windshield repairs. I have one real good guy that I trust.
Gotcha.
And, he does repairs for me.
And over the time from
Go ahead.
and over the time when you've had employees, how did you actually compensate your employees?
So I like hustlers.
Yeah.
And the problem with paying someone hourly in chip repairs is that they get lazy.
Gotcha.
You know, you start paying hourly, they don't want to do as many jobs. But if you pay people commission, they're more enticed to do more repairs. It also gives them a benefit of being able to control their paycheck with how hard they're willing to work. So I've always basically done commission the whole time. I don't think I've ever paid anyone hourly other than replacement techs.
Gotcha. All right, and when you're having these tents and stuff set up, off the top of your head, do you know what size tents you guys have used, or is that something that you even get involved in on figuring out the tent size or the right mix of quality of purchasing a tent?
No, I'm not really good with the tent stuff. I just buy it, whatever.
Yeah, I got you. Buy, put your signage and your logo on it, and keep it moving. All right, cool. And when you finish working in the day at the wash, do you leave the tent up overnight, or do you take the tent down?
I recommend anything that you have that could possibly blow away or get stolen should be removed daily.
Gotcha. All right, so now keeping it moving to some couple other questions. We're on the final run here of questions that I got for you. And once again, I appreciate your time. How many bridges do you use per locations, and how many curing lights do you use per location?
So I always keep two at the location so they can do multiple jobs at one time. For me personally, I have 4 bridges on me at all times.
Gotcha. Cool.
Because spending money on bridges, not a big deal. Wasting my life, that's a big deal.
Gotcha.
And I have to have everything in perfect order, or else it gives me anxiety, and I can't grab everything where it's supposed to be.
I got you.
Make sure that my kits are always the same. And the way that I train my guys, everything has a spot. It needs to go back in that spot, because every second that you waste, that's another job that you could be getting. So you need to be diligent in keeping your kit in perfect order. That way, when you reach your hand to go somewhere, you start getting used to it like a robot.
Yep.
Making sure that everything is in the right spot.
And that's what I tell people all the time, man. Our toolbox is a custom foam fitted. It has a place that the item belongs. Put it where it goes. And if you take care of it, it'll take care of you. So I feel you 100% on that. Other than your windshield repair. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's nothing more frustrating than going to your kit and something's misplaced.
Yeah.
It's frustrating for you, and it makes you look unprofessional to the customer too when you're trying to find your tools.
Yeah, that makes sense, brother. Other than the windshield repair tools, are there any other equipment or items that you consider essential, like ladders, tables, chairs, or anything like that?
Ladders, I don't usually carry one. If one of my customers' houses, they usually have one if I need one. But that's also to personal preference. I don't mind getting up on the door jamb. I don't mind jumping up on a tire. You know, a lot of people don't like to do that, but I've been doing it for so long, it doesn't bother me.
Gotcha.
Other than your windshield repair tools and your UV shields and windshield repair flags are good. You can buy them on Amazon for like $60. Get the whole pole and the flag and everything.
Yeah.
They wave and stuff. Those need to be removed and taken down every day. Good signage is super important. Super important. People see it. They want to talk to you about it. Signage on your car, all this stuff gives you new clients that you didn't have to work for.
Yep.
But other than that, I mean, it's pretty much all you need.
Gotcha. When doing your insurance billing, how do you do your insurance billing? Is there certain software you use, a program?
I've done it through EDI.
Okay.
I just don't like paying for it, you know?
Gotcha.
So I do all my manual building through SafeLight or Faxing.
Yeah, so you just go in through their website, input your shop ID, put in all the info, and submit it yourself.
Yeah, SafeLight billing is super easy. All you're doing is adding a data loss, adding the invoice number, adding the VIN number, and the amount you bill for, and you press send, and it's done. Super easy.
Gotcha.
You know, HSG and links. All you do is fax over the work order. Super easy. Insurance billing is cake. I'm not sure why people get frustrated with it, or it's super easy.
Gotcha. And when doing credit card processing, what kind of software do you use, or how does that process work for you?
I use Converge through US Bank. I have mobile ones that connect the phone jacks on a phone where you can enter it, or you can just enter it manually.
Got you. Okay, that makes sense.
You also do accept Venmo. That's a good one if you want no processing fees.
Yep.
You know, and cash, of course.
Got you.
But I've been having a ton of people paying Venmo now. They all love paying in Venmo.
Yeah, I just got hip to Venmo recently too, man. And people, they love it. Cause I was like, I thought it was always like PayPal. Then I heard people say Cash App, but I'm like the last 2 months, all I've been hearing is Venmo. So yeah, I agree with you, man. People love that.
Little against Venmo too, and then finally one of my installers like, hey, you need to do this. I'm only going to pay you like that. I was like, all right, fine. And now I use it all day long. It's super secure. It's probably one of the most secure.
Yeah.
Way more secure than running a credit card. There's no personal information exchange. None.
Yeah.
All it is entering a number and confirming it, and then it just gets transferred. There's zero processing fees, and it's a very quick and easy thing to do now.
Yeah, that's what's up. So next question I got for you here. How do you approach potential customers, and what do you say to them to put them at ease to let you do the windshield repair?
For potential customers coming up to them, I'm just really friendly. Hey, you notice if you got a crack on your windshield? And they're always, of course, like, yeah, I've seen it. I'm like, did you know that most insurance companies cover it for free? And they're like, really? And
Right.
like, yeah, they waive your deductible for it. So I always start off with that. That way I know where I'm going with my pitch.
Got
If
you.
they tell me that one of the companies that doesn't cover it, then I'm switching to cash or credit real quick.
Got you.
And I just be real, pretty thorough with it. I used to go into it a lot, but now I'm pretty mellow with the pitch. Hey, you got hit by that rock.
Yeah.
Cracks split larger due to any kind of pressure change or vibration. Your insurance you go through, Farmer's great. They cover it for free. They waive your deductible. It's a 5-minute phone call inside. I'll get the repair done, usually while you're on the phone or just a couple minutes extra.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate that insight. Next question. What are the top 3 things you think that sets you apart from your competition?
The top 3 things that set me apart from my competition.
Yeah.
Well, I would say about 90% of shops are doing windshield repairs wrong.
Yep.
So first off, I'm doing 5-star work, which most of them are 5-star reviews are over replacements and not over chip repairs because they don't really care about them.
Right.
5-star work. 2, I explain the process very well. I make sure that they understand that there's going to be a small scar and laminate damage from the rock impacting the windshield. That is one of the biggest customer concerns is, it disappears from the front, but why can't I still see it from the inside? Explaining the PVB and laminate damage is the first thing I do when I show up.
Got you.
Because that is the biggest concern. I can't see it from the outside, but I definitely can still see the faint lines from the inside. So that's PVB damage. The rock hits the windshield, it creates permanent damage.
Got you.
So what sets me apart is, 1, I'm willing to come and go where what other shops aren't willing to do. I'm willing to work hours that people aren't willing to work.
Got you.
And I'm always willing to show up and do a good job right the first time. And I've taken a lot of time to get really, really good at my repairs.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important to do your repairs correctly, explain it correctly, and also have really good reviews.
Got you.
To this business.
Are there any challenges you think that face people like getting set up in the industry or getting a new tent location? Can you name any challenges?
The biggest challenge with anything in life is always going to be yourself.
Yep.
Starting new things, doing new things, they're always going to be a little scary at first and uncomfortable because you're not new to it. But the longer you do it and the more you try, the easier it will become. Landing your first location is going to be one of the greatest feelings you'll ever have in your lifetime.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Getting a location, putting in the effort, and getting your foot in the door. But
Gotcha.
What you have to keep in mind is that not everyone is going to feel your vibe. Not everyone is going to feel your flow. And to get discouraged after a couple rejections, that may want to make people not want to do something. But that's the complete opposite. A couple rejections, that's just leading you closer to a yes. If you get rejected a bunch of times, it's just getting you closer to that yes, and it's going to be a much better feeling when you land it.
Gotcha.
So what you need to understand when you're talking to owners, especially starting out, or GM, is that this is a learning curve here. You got to understand that everyone's going to be different, and everyone's going to say yes or no for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the first time you spoke with them, you said some things they might not have wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Next time you go back, you got your pitch down solid. Now they want to do business with you. It also depends on circumstances in that owner or GM's life at the time. They might not want to deal with you or that. It may just be a bad day. So giving up on the first try is never the thing.
Gotcha.
The biggest person in your life that is going to keep you from doing anything is yourself.
That's right, brother. The only liable limitation is yourself, man. That's head on. Like, you control your destiny, and if you want to get up and work, that's on you. So I feel you 100% on that. That it's more about you and not on all the extra pieces to the puzzle, but focus on you and control what you can control.
You can only control what you can do and what you can do, and if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish basically anything you like to do.
Gotcha.
The more effort you put in, the more constant and being consistent about going back and talking to these owners. If you just go in there and think you're going to land deals, I mean, I have gone in, land first time I talked to them. It happens once in a while. It feels great, but have I been rejected hundreds of times? Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But that doesn't stop me from getting up and
hey, pick the pieces up, dust yourself off, man. Get back to work, do what you got to do. So, yeah, I feel you.
Exactly.
Yeah, another question for you. Have you completed any windshield repair or sales training?
Have I completed any what?
Windshield repair or sales training?
For sales training?
Yeah, have you did like any sales training, like went to sales seminars or sales training or anything like that?
None.
Gotcha.
I've always naturally been a good salesman.
I got you, brother. Yeah, I am, man. No sales training. I'm actually taking my first sales training class in November. First time ever taking some sales training, man. So I'll see if it's valuable. I keep you posted on how that works out. But I'm just like you, man. Wake up. I'm ambitious, hustler's mentality, man.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, you could go to as many sales training things as you'd like, but if you don't have the go-get-it mentality, those things are just tools to help you get better at selling. If you don't have the mentality that you want to sell and that you don't care if you get rejected, that's the most important key thing, is getting a no and not caring. Not the only part you want to care about when you get a no is how can I do it better next time.
Yep, that's right, brother. You hit the nail on the head with that one. Next question for you.
Sales training. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, go finish your point, man. Go ahead.
I think sales training helps you improve your sales abilities.
Yep.
But if you don't have a desire to sell and you're afraid to get rejected, I think you're just wasting your time.
Yep.
To be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that end, man. What are the biggest mistakes you see in other windshield repair technicians right now? Like, what mistakes are they making that you see?
That's a good question. And I would say that 90% of companies out there right now aren't doing correct fills on their windshield. So being not good at your job, is really bad. Like, I'm not like that. I have to be good at what I do. It has to be perfect. I'm really anal about that kind of stuff. It being perfect, it being right, it being quickly done and professionally done. I think they maybe rush it, or they get nervous, or they just don't know how to do the repair correctly,
Yeah.
And another big mistake, too, is you can do a phenomenal, perfect repair, but if you do not explain it correctly, then you could get yourself stuck in a bad situation.
Gotcha.
Explaining the repair is just as important as doing a good job.
I tell people that all the time, man. You got to set the right expectation, because if you don't, when you finish, they say, hey, I thought it was supposed to disappear, be invisible, go away. So setting that right expectation is very, very, very important. So I couldn't agree with you anymore on that.
I always set the expectation low with the customer, telling them, hey, you're still going to see faint lines. I don't tell them from where. So when it disappears from the front, they're like, oh, it disappeared. I'm like, yeah, you see the faint lines from the inside.
Gotcha.
I can do the repair from the outside. The glass fills all the way. You see the faint lines in the laminate from the inside. That's
right, brother. Undersell, overachieve. So I feel you on that. On that end.
I never have had a customer be like, after I told them you're still going to see it a little bit, and then it clears from the outside, they're like, oh, wow, that's way better than how I thought you were going to say it was going to be. Like, yeah, I don't want you to get upset thinking that everything is going to completely disappear, because you do have to keep in mind that this is a rock that hit a piece of glass. Now, if you throw a rock at any other piece of glass, it's done. You're going to get it needs to be replaced. But luckily we can repair, windshields.
Yep. Gotcha. If you could give one piece of advice to someone just starting out in the windshield repair industry, what would that be?
One piece of advice in the windshield industry. So I'm going to say now that reviews are important.
Reviews.
And a lot of shops might disagree with me that they don't care about them and blah, blah, blah. But they're very important because, one, it keeps you making sure you're doing 5-star work. And it also keeps you wanting to innovate and learn maybe new techniques and, buy better quality stuff that you could have. Making sure that your repairs are successful always with good resins and good tools. Being comfortable and confident in your repairs is going to make you successful. Talking to a customer, working on their car in front of them. I don't get nervous working in front of everyone. I would say 95% of my customers watch me do the repair.
Right.
So be comfortable with yourself in doing the repairs, making sure that you ask for reviews and do a good job. I mean, just getting your reviews up, I think that's key to everything. That will make you successful, because I didn't do reviews for a long time.
Right.
For probably the 15 years, I didn't do reviews. It was just 10 locations and all that. And so there'd be days I'm struggling to make money.
Yeah.
And, some days where I'm making nothing. There's not a day that goes by now where my phone doesn't ring.
Gotcha.
I don't have to worry about just my car wash locations or just my tent locations. I know that when I wake up, my phone is going to ring from 8 o'clock in the morning till sometimes 8 o'clock at night. And that's because I have put so much work into making my reviews good, legit, and customers happy. And to be honest, it has completely changed my whole entire business. You can make one little tent location or one little car wash location an extremely successful car or auto glass company that doesn't have to completely rely on one location.
Gotcha. And when getting those testimonials, how do you solicit getting testimonials from customers for Google, Yelp, or for your website?
So after I do a good job at the repair, typically I'd be like, hey, is this a 5-star repair? And they're always like, yes, it's a great repair. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, get a chance, leave me a review on Yelp or Google. And let's say about 50% of them do.
Yeah.
Or I show up, I'll find additional damage on someone's windshield, and I'd be like, 2 choices. You can pay, the extra cost, or hey, just leave me a good review on Yelp and Google, and I'll just do this other one for free.
Oh, that's what's up. That's a good thing right there to do, man, to get it. That's a good one there.
I did it twice today, It helps build up your reviews super quick. They think, they're saving more money because usually they think that you're going to charge them double.
Gotcha.
Instead of 85 or 90, now they're paying 180.
Yeah.
So they're all about it. They want to leave a review to save a bunch of money,
Gotcha.
And then also a lot of times too, that's really the easiest ways to get reviews is, one, do a good job and ask them, hey, if you can leave me a review. 2, if they try to tip me. Hey, I really don't want your extra money. I quoted you on what I feel I need. I'll take the tip, but if you could just leave me a review on Yelp and Google, I would way rather have that than money. That will pay me for a long time more than use the tip.
Gotcha.
People try to tip all the time.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they just say, hey, just leave me the review. This is so much more important to me than that,
Gotcha. That's a good one, man. That's a good one. Next question is, do you offer any incentives to provide customers to visit with you again or to refer other people?
Incentives, I really don't offer that incentives to do it. I think most people, when they deal with their cars and stuff like that, they just want quality work. So they're more than willing to refer you if you do a good job.
Yeah.
People throwing incentives out there sometimes maybe might need to do it because their repairs aren't up to par.
Right.
But if you do go do a good job, they're going to refer you to their friends or family. There's no incentive that's needed.
Gotcha. Yeah, I agree with you on that. And so I got two last questions for you, man. would you be willing to share any financial goals you have for your business within the 19 years you've been in business?
Financial goals? What do you mean?
Like, do you have any goals you try to hit monthly, weekly, yearly, or any goals for your business? Like, hey, I need to grow by 20%, or I'm trying to hit X amount of money this week. Any goals like that for your business?
I'm slowly trying to get up to $1 million a year.
Got you.
But like everything, it's all about the amount of work you put into it. My biggest advice to you is, once you start making good money, make sure that you're focused and you're doing it step by step slowly and not just jumping into a whole bunch of things. Because what happens is those other things will take time from your already successful business, which I've done a whole bunch of times now, where I'm doing super good. I started like, let's get something else going, and then now my business that's already successful is suffering because I'm not focusing on it,
Got you.
You want to take your time. You want to move slowly. You want to make sure you're keeping most of your profit. That's the most important thing.
Gotcha. And last question for you. Is there anything else that you would like to share with me or share with anyone that's getting into the windshield repair industry?
Yeah, the windshield repair industry is a great business. You get to make your own time and hours. You can work as hard as much as you want. I really like dealing with customers and making them happy. Windshield replacement is one thing. It's pretty basic. I mean, some installs are kind of technical, but it's basically the same thing. You take the windshield out, you put it in.
Yeah.
But every crack you go to is going to be a different experience. For you, for the customer, they're like snowflakes. They're all different.
Yep.
So it's really, fulfilling to see a customer super excited about having a nasty damage on the windshield and now they can barely see it.
Yeah.
It's fulfilling in life. It makes people happy. And it's a great business to be in. I've been doing it for 19 years and I'm always going to be doing it. Everyone's always going to be the windshield.
Yeah,
My best advice to you on that is my grandfather always told me. He said, find a business that is recession proof, that someone will always going to need. He's like, something like toilet paper.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? So when I got into it, I'm like, hey, this is a business like my grandfather was talking about. Recession hits, now people want to repair the windshield more. They want you to come quicker. They don't want the windshield to crack out. When the recession hit, everyone else is like, oh, man, I lost this and I lost that. Everything's horrible. And it didn't affect my business. If anything, people call more about the repairs. They don't want to do the replacements.
Yeah, now you're right. When the recession hit, like we pick up in business because everybody looking to save $1. So yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, when recessions hit, now instead of them thinking about doing the repair, they're doing the repair because they do not have any other money to spend on the replacement. Everyone else was suffering during the recession. I was just like, hey, this is nothing for me. And if you can be in a business like that, that's recession proof, you're good. That's the business you want to be in.
Yeah. Now I agree with you 100% on that, brother. Like, hey, you can forever make money doing this. It's a ton of cars and everybody got a windshield and every front windshield is made of laminated glass. So that's a potential customer just in itself right there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yep. Well, I appreciate your time, JD. I appreciate getting to see you last week. Appreciate knowing you and having a friendship of all these years, man. And thankful and blessed that you gave us a good amount of information that we can help other people that's getting set up in the industry, whether they get a tent location or whatever they may well do. I think you gave us a bunch of valuable information to actually help them out. So I really, truly appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you, Corey. It was good seeing you too. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Take care. Bye.